Good morning, everybody. Let me get myself up on my computer and my iPad so I can see myself and make sure I'm live. Okay, I have this all set up. All right, for the right one. Yes, I'm live there. And let me refresh here on my computer. Woohoo! I'm live both places. How is everybody today? I hope you're having a great weekend. We have beautiful weather so far. Sky's not blue. It's kind of overcast, but it's sunny. It's strange. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if they're doing a controlled burn and there's smoke in the air or what it is. And maybe we're supposed to get rain this afternoon. I don't know. I am excited to share an idea with you I just recently saw, and I wasn't certain if I, was going to like it or not, but I thought I'd give it a try and see. I always like finding new ideas and, seeing what I can do with it. And this was one. I don't think it was a Stampin' Up! Person. Let me see. No, it was not a Stampin' Up! Person, but I thought we can do the same thing. So if you see a card online you like, just because you don't have the supplies, look at what you do have and see if you can use it and do the same thing. And that's what I'm going to do today. The card that I saw was actually done by Maria Fort, and I saw it in another group, and I thought, oh, that would be fun to do. So that's the one I'm going to try. Now, before we go too far, the Paper Crafters, what is it called? Paper Creations Academy, I think is what it's called. We have revamped it, and we're going in a different direction. I don't know about you, but I'm always looking for techniques. And the reason I'm looking for techniques is I have a lot of supplies. I don't need more, but what I would like to do is find some fun ways to use what I have. So be looking to sign up for Paper Creations Academy in May 1st, and we will have our first technique up. Right now we have two levels. We have the basic and we have the, I think it's bronze and silver, something like that, but it's basic and then stepped up to me. If you do the stepped up, you get both the stepped up and the basic. So you get both levels. Hey, Barb. So that is going to start May 1st, and I will have information on that coming out. Be looking for it. Let's see, what else is going on? Catalog goes live, new catalog goes live May 2nd. If there's anything you are going to be so sad you have missed, you need to order it if it's not already gone. There's a lot of things that are already gone, and you don't want to wait because then you'll be scrambling to try and find it. And I know a lot of people will do that and say, well, I'll get a deal. Well, I'm telling you, if it is a high, hey, Janice, if it is a high ticketed item, you're going to pay full price for it. You're not going to find a deal. People have kicked themselves like, here's a perfect example. When Stampin' Up! Discontinued the Stamparatus, people, they sold out basically, and people were frantically trying to find it. Well, some people were selling that thing for $75. I've even seen it for as much as $400. Now, that's a lot of money, and it's my estimation, stupid to pay that just to say you have a Stamparatus. It's not that big of a deal. There's plenty of other stamping platforms out there. So keep that in mind and don't miss out. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So if you are the type that gets dizzy, close your eyes and don't open until I say so. Because I'm going to flip this around hopefully, nope, didn't flip yet. All right, it's flipped, but don't open yet. I'm putting it in the holder. And then I have to get it lined up and straight. Wish I could pinch this and get it to come in. It won't do it. It'll do it on YouTube. All right, go ahead. Open your eyes. You'll just have to see the mess everywhere. All right. This is an idea, like I said, that I saw from, oh, it's crook. Well, this is the funniest thing. It's straight down here and crooked here. Don't ask me why. So I'm just gonna, you know what I should do is I should look at the lines and not the top and bottom lines, these lines. I just shifted it. Oh, that's better. It is straight now. I'm just not going to do that anymore. I'm going to look at these lines. All right. I saw this idea from Marie Forte. It's a clean and simple card. And, you know, the weather's getting nice and we're all like, I don't want to be inside crafting, but you need cards. So, of course, when it gets hot, we'll all be inside. So I am going to share this idea with you. I'm starting with a panel that's 4 by 5 1/4, but I will tell you I'm going to cut it down. And I'm going to turn it this way. And I'm going to add my tape. Now, I have done a lot of sticking with this, and I should be doing this. Yep, I need to move it here so I can see, because that's way too much. I did all right about there. That's a good amount. All right. And then I'm going to take this piece. I did a lot of sticking this to my pants and to my hand. All right, and I'm going to stick it there. All right, now I got to pick this up and I'm going to put it on here because I'm going to do some ink blending. And I thought I would use the Darling Details dies. This is not my set. I've used it so much and I have to give it back. So I'm using it as much as I possibly can. All right, come on. All right. And I've used this image because I love this little piece. Let me get it out. I just think it's such an interesting piece. So we're going to do this and we're going to create a panel in here that's variegated. And we're going to start with Granny Apple Green. And we're going to go, all right, I'm going to move that up there. I'm going to turn this sideways. And I have to be careful this way. I'm going to start up here and I'm going to go down. And I'm just kind of blending it out. And I'm going down and I'm getting it darker and darker. I'm going to stay at the bottom a little bit. So it's giving you that ombre look. All right. I think it needs to be a little darker. I'm not too worried about up here because that's going to be another color. I'm going to put in a darker color. Let's see what that looks like with it. I think that's good. So I'm going to leave that and I'm going to close up this and I'm going to bring in Garden Green. And this time I'm going to blend it from the top down, but I'm not going down very far. Now it's going to take it a few minutes for me to get the green on here. That does not want to stick. And all right, let's see what that looks like. This is like trial and error. Ooh, I like that. So I'm going to leave that. All right. So I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to very carefully take this off. And I know this is like watching paint dry, but you have to go slow or you'll rip your paper. And if I rip this, it won't do me any good because I can't hide it. All right, so I'm going real slow. I think the other side's going to come off better. I have used this one a lot, but it's still pretty sticky. Almost. Here's about the time I get really anxious and start pulling too fast, so I've got to take it slow. All right, there. I got that one off, and I'm going to have to wipe those off. You know what I should have done? I should have done it before I took it off. All right, because I'm going to use this again with different colors, and if I don't wipe it off, my new color that I use is going to have a green tint to it, which won't be good. All right, I'm not going to come that way, so let's go this way. And see, this one is coming off easier. This was a new piece, but what I did was I put it on my pants, I put it on the back of my hand. There are oils in your hand, so if you have tape like this, put it on the back of your hand. All right, so there's my panel. All right, now, before I go too far, I'm going to take this one. I'm just going to stick it down lightly, and I'm going to clean this one off. And if it pulls this up, I don't really care. All right, let's see. Do I still have some on here? Nope, it's clean. All right, now I can take this off. There we go. There. And I can move this out of the way. All right. Now I've got this piece that I'm going to put on. And then we'll get this card made. All right. Here we go. Right, and I'm going to put this on here. See, isn't that a pretty card? And it was so easy to do. I'm going to take and... All right, it won't let me see the comments. I'm going to add some dots of glue to my leaves. I don't worry too much about the tips, but I will hit that. All right, let me put my pen back in. And I'm storing this on its side so that it is easy to pull out. All right, let me pick this up and put this down. All right, now there. I'm gonna put a block on it. I need a sentiment. I didn't grab a sentiment, but I did grab twine. So let me see. Do I have a sentiment close that I could use? I want a general sentiment. Something simple, easy. Let's see. Let's see what's in this one. Okay, here. This is an old celebration stamp set, which I love the sentiments in here, so I've kept it. And I'm going to use, if I can find it, Just a Little High from Me. And then we'll add our twine. I have a lot of old, all right, let me see. All those are big blocks. I'll make a mess if I don't use a small one. I'm going to take all my sentiments that I love, and I'm going to put them all in one case, and then I have them. All right, I'm going to stamp this in Granny Apple Green. Nope, I'm going to stamp it in Garden Green. And the reason being is this is a lot of Garden Green, and the sentiment, I think, would get lost. So if I stamp it right there, all right, I got to make sure it's straight because I know it's not on my block straight. Ooh, good. All right. Now, well, you know what I didn't do? I didn't cut this down. So give me a minute to cut this down some. I want it a little smaller, like instead of 4, like 3 3/4. And 5 instead of 5 1/4. All right, there. And I'm going to put it on a white card base, which I forgot to grab. I was up here pulling everything and forgot the card bases. But before I'm going to put this down, oh, darn it. I did it. Let's see how much I can get off. Oh, a lot of it's coming off. I do that all the time. I put my finger in my ink pad. A little bit more. All right. That's not as noticeable, but I've got ink on me. It must, I wonder what it was from. I've wiped it off and wiped it off, but it's on my card base too. Dang, what a mess. Don't you hate it when that happens? I'll put the mess on the back. All right, now before I put this on, I have some green trim, and I have some cream trim, and this is, I think this is cream also. I'm moving to twine because I'm afraid with the increase in postage, ribbon is going to put it over another. Oh, I think I'm going to open this up. I can't find it. I don't see it tucked anywhere. There we go. Those are basically the same. So which one should it be? The darker green or the natural, for lack of a better word? All right. And while you're doing that, you're deciding, I'm gonna add some double-sided tape to the back. So I have it ready to go. All right, and I think I'm gonna put it at the bottom. Maybe I can hide that mistake a little bit more. All right. Dark green. I'm thinking the dark green. This, because it's white, this looks funny. So I'm going to go with the dark green. And hopefully you guys agree. All right. And I'm going to put my bow on this side. So I'm going to wrap it this way. So I'm going to wrap it once, twice. All right. I'm going to pull it down some. Okay. Here's this and this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a double knot. Come on, move up there. And then I'll tie my bow. But it's just easier to tie the double knot because I can get it tight. All right. And now because I pulled this north to south, I can take and make my bow very easily. Oh, I'm so glad you guys agreed. Sometimes it takes a while for it to come through. And I'm thinking, okay, they're not going to give me an answer. When you guys are behind, I keep forgetting that you're about 20 seconds behind. All right, now, there we go. Ooh, nice bow. Nice bow. I'm going to cut it there and there. I'm going to be ordering some twine so I have it. All right, now I can, and you know what? I didn't do this right, but I can fix it. All right, it's there. Totally forgot to do this, but all I have to do is pull this off, push that down, and then add another piece to the back over top this, and take it off and add it to my card. And I didn't put the twine at the top because I used garden green at the top, and the twine, this twine, oh, I need more glue on here. Man, I'm off today. The twine to me looks like Mossy Meadow, and I had used garden green, so the colors were off. So if I put it at the bottom, it's not as noticeable. I have to fill my thing up. It's getting low, and that's why it's not coming out real good. All right, let's put this down like so. All right. All right, so there's the first idea. All right, simple card, easy. And because the twine is so thin, it's not going to affect the machines as it goes through. So I will be using a lot of twine. I have a lot, and I'm going to use it. I have black, I have gray, I have these colors, I have white. All right, second card. And my next card, I decided I wanted a flower. So I pulled out, oh man, it doesn't want to come. Let me push it off some. I pulled out the artistic dies, which are retiring in a few days. Can you believe it's May already? It's like, where did the time go? All right, let's see if I can get it off now. I'm kind of pushing it. I'm not using all of this, so I want the flower more than anything else. So I have to just get the flower off, but everything is breaking. All right, hold on. See, the pieces are coming out, but not the... I want this rose is what I wanted. me see if I can get this out some. If I can get this one going, usually if I can get it started, I'm pretty good. But because I didn't cut the whole thing, I have to be careful because this is part of the rose down here. All right. Let me push some of these out. Okay, here we come. All right, there. I'm not worried about those pieces or these. And what I'm going to take and do is I'm going to push out. All right, I'm going to take my scissors. I'm going to do some surgery. All right, and I'm going to get rid of this. You just have to be careful because it is thin. You don't want the rose itself to be too thin. All right, let me get rid of that so it's not interfering. I'm going to go up this way to there. So I'm just kind of following the outline. All right. And I think I'm going to leave that flower on, or leaf on there. Okay. Whew. That was nerve-wracking. All right, let me, of course, now I have to be careful because I don't want to rip these. Some of them, I need to adjust my magic mat. I need to flatten it. All right. Hopefully these will come out better than the others. All right, that one's cut all the way through. I flipped it to the back because I can see if it's cut all the way through or not. This one is, but it's a little tricky. So let me get my tiny scissors and get in here and do some snipping. There. All right. That one is cut all the way through. Sometimes it looks like it's cut all the way through, but it's still, there's just a little tiny piece that might be attached. So you have to be careful. I always try to find projects that aren't difficult. Invariably, I find one that's the ones that I do that is like, okay, what's the problem? All right, I'm getting there. Let me get my scissors again, get in here. Got it. All right, now, hopefully these in the middle will pop out easy. Right. There's that one. And if there's a few fuzzies on here, it won't matter because it's not going to be that visible. All right, there's that. All right, one left. One left. Come on. All right, I'm going to take my scissors because it's being a little stubborn. Come on. I've got that one piece right there. Didn't want to come, but I got it. Whew! I did not expect that to be that way. I would have done that beforehand if I had known. All right, now, here we go. We're going to do, I'm going to flip this over because I don't know if that green is going to be interfering. Oops, forgot. I got to put this down first. All right, and I might go with a wider border, wider strip. I couldn't think. All right, I want that one on the inside, although this one came off easier. Let me do this. Now, I have this tape is really wide and I cut it in half, so that's why I'm using one side over the other, because the one side's straight, the other one is not, as you can see. All right, now, let's go this way and give myself a wider border. All right, I'm going to put this down here, and I've got it. And for this one, I'm going with 3 colors, and I'm also going to do some sponging on this. All right, I've got daffodil, flamingo, and poppy. So I'm going to start at the top with daffodil. Okay. And my daffodil is really juicy. And I'm going to go about 1/3 of the way down. All right, so I've got that. I don't think I was going to try to put some color in there. I don't think it'll show up like I would like it to. Now I'm going to take the Flirty Flamingo, and I'm going to come in from the sides. Ooh, 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 I almost messed up. And I'm going to blend it. Now, when you do this, what you want to do is you want to go up into the other colors so that it's a seamless blend. And I don't want too much poppy. I did get it some on my card, so I'm going to stop there. That might be darker than I want, but that's all right. Hey, Sharon. Now I'm going to use my poppy. And I'm going to turn this around. Oh, I never did. I didn't even change my brush, and I should have. All right, I'm going to move this before I get color on there that shouldn't be there. I've got to build up my color on here. I think I went a little too dark with the flamingo. We won't see much difference, I don't think, between the two, but that's okay. See, I got a little bit there. I'm going to try and get that off. And again, I'm going up into the Flirty Flamingo to get a seamless blend. All right. I think I'm going to leave that. Now, the other thing I wanted to do is I want to add some poppy to this. So I'm just going to go around the edges. And I'm just going to kind of tap it on, because when I try to, okay, that's not bad. It's got a little bit of color. I would like to have a little bit here, but I'm playing with fire. I'll mess it up, so I'm going to leave it. And I don't want to do my green leaf. Let's see what happens if I go over it with the green that's on here. Let me try and see. All right. At least you know what happens. Hey, Carol. All right, so now I have to take this off. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to make sure I don't have any ink on my hands. Then I have to be careful. All right, got that off. Now let's do this one. If you pull it back on itself, you have less chance of it pulling the paper off. All right, so there's that. I'm gonna get this out of the way, wipe my hands off on my pants so I don't have ink somewhere it shouldn't be. Let's see if I can get some of this off. Okay. All right, my flamingo's a little dark, I think, but that's okay. And I think I'm going to put my flower here instead of at the bottom because it's lost down there. You don't notice it. I probably should have gone the other way, but dark to light to me it doesn't look good to my eye. And you should always do things that are pleasing to the eye because then it'll look good. All right, there's some there. I've got to put a piece there. All right, let's see if this has enough on it. All right, I'm gonna put it at an angle like so. And I'm gonna put a block on top of it so that it stays put and stuck down. And put my tip back on. I lose that thing more than enough. And I have this, it's almost like a flamingo color that I was going to use. What do you think? What I look for? A sentiment. Oh, here's one. Oh, there's a couple. I think I'm going to use Hello Sunshine. I'm always looking for encouraging cards to send out. But now I've got to find Hello Sunshine on here. And I don't see it. Let me see if it's on here, if I can find it. There it is. It was up in the corner, hidden. Yeah, Carol, it's one of those things. It's like we forget. And I need a little block. Let me see, will it fit on this one? I think it will. This is small. All right. Again, I'm going to put this on the bottom, and I think I'm going to go with the coral. And I'll put my sentiment right about there. Hide that little bit that's still there. All right, let me add my double-sided tape. And this time I'm going to try not to forget to take the tape off. Come on. All right, where's the bottom? Here it is. So there and there. Double-sided tape helps to hold it tight too. All right, I'm going to start this way, give myself a tail. I'm going to go here and here, here, and here. All right. I know that'll stick down, but that's okay. pulling it tight. Again, I'm going to do a double knot and then I'll do my bow. And just remember to pull your knot north to south and you're good. Let me cut this to give myself a tail. And this is twisted on top, so I'm going to move it to the other side so that it's straight. And now, see how it's loose here? That's why the double-sided tape is good for that. If I can find what I did with it. Oh, there it is right in front of me. Okay, there's that. And there's that. I didn't cut this one down either. Oh, darn it. Okay, give me a minute. Okay. I just think it looks a little bit better. Oh, I can't cut this one down. Hold on, maybe I can. I've got my let me see if I can get this off enough that I can get this out. Yeah. Let's see if this works. All right, hang on. I'm going to make sure that this isn't in the way as I cut this off. All right, here we go. This is going to go back on, and it's loose, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull it tight on the front and on the back, and I'm not worried about that. Now I've kind of stuck that down. I'm going to take another piece of tape and put it over top, but I'll make sure if I can find the beginning of this thing. Darn. There it is. It's like, where's the beginning? All right. Now, make sure this is tight and put that on. There. And see, now it's in good shape. I can adjust it a little. There. Now let me tie my bow. So here's this and this. And then I'm going to hold it in the middle as I pull my loops. And I made them small because I didn't leave enough tail for that one. All right, got it. Now, before I put that on my card base, I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to use Flirty Flamingo. And let's see if I can get it on top of my boo-boo. And not straight, but close. All right. Not too bad. All right, let's put it on our card base. And then you'll have two ideas. All right, I'm going to flip this over. Take this piece off. And I don't tape that down because this is sandwiched. If it bothers you, tape it down. Oh, that's been sitting up and it should have been down. Okay, there. Okay. Now, open this up. Put this down. I just think it looks better with a bigger border. And I didn't add another layer. Again, thinking about postage going up. And you not only pay by thickness, but you pay by weight. So there's the two ideas today. I think this one's my favorite. This one's okay, but I think this is my favorite. I hope you had some got some ideas and can pull out your supplies and play with this idea. All right, now I'm going to flip this up. So if you get dizzy, close your eyes because I don't want anybody getting dizzy. And here we go. And okay. All right. It's up and ready so you can open your eyes. Oh, thanks, Gladys. I think this would make a great masculine card. Yeah, it is fun, Sharon. But this, I mean, you can use any leaves in here. I just really like this swish, leaf swish. And I think this one would have been better if I hadn't been so heavy-handed with my Flirty Flamingo in the middle. So, but that's okay. I had fun, and I hope I gave you some ideas. I will not be here next Saturday. It is our girlfriend's shopping weekend, so I will be in Williamsburg, Virginia at the outlets having fun with friends. So no Facebook Live next Saturday. I will be back the following Saturday. I will be live Monday night in the customer group and Wednesday at noon on YouTube. So if you're around, join me. Have a great weekend, guys. Bye.